Tonight. Some more news tonight, an exclusive report here at 6 o'clock. We're hearing directly from the teen girl at the center of that viral video who was detained by a South Bend police officer back in August.
Yet last night, the South Bend Community Police Review Board met to make a final decision, but it never happened because there weren't enough board members there to vote. Our Emma Brott sat down with that teen today and joins us now with that exclusive sit down. Emma.
Well, the South Bend Community Police Review Board had a few weeks to review the viral detainment, which happened outside of a South Bend McDonald's. But last night, they did not reach a decision as scheduled. Today, the girl who was detained sat down and told me directly she's not surprised by this delay, but she hopes a change is coming soon.
I wanted a change, but it didn't happen.
After a viral video circulated showing a teenage girl being detained in South Bend this past August, the South Bend Community Police Review Board added that conversation to the November agenda. And during Thursday's meeting, the board was expected to make a final decision on the officer who detained the girl. However, they didn't have enough board members present to make that decision.
Definitely not surprised, but anybody can look at me and see I'm 4'10", 100 pounds. It was definitely excessive force.
Following the arrest, the South Bend Police Department concluded the officer did nothing wrong.
I don't understand how they feel like that. I don't understand. You can look at me and tell that it was excessive force. You can look at the video and tell. No one's getting grabbed by their neck and slammed on the ground, and it's just right.
After the meeting Thursday, the review board director, Pastor King Charles, tells us he favors exonerating the officer, and the police department should reevaluate its detainment protocol.
There's cities like Grand Rapids, they already have youth, juvenile-orientated de-escalation policies. So there's room for improvement, and we could be one of the cutting-edge cities in Indiana to present this type of policy, and I think the South Bend Police Department should seriously look at it.
After the detainment, the officer took Bria home and spoke with her guardians.
I want them to understand where I'm coming from with this, and not just like what they think. Like, just think of it if it was their kids or their grandkids. It's not right. I really want a change because I would not like for this to happen to nobody else.
Now, the board has 60 working days since the finding was issued to make a final decision. And now that this November meeting has been postponed, we'll have to wait for the board to reconvene in December.
Okay, so Emma, obviously, what happens if the board decides the officer was in the wrong? Does it actually mean anything at that point?
Well, based off of our reporting, this is only a recommendation, which is not binding, meaning the police department doesn't have to make any further decisions surrounding the officer in this case. Meanwhile, today our team received a statement from the city's spokesperson. That statement says in part, while the city is open to forward-looking suggestions, the final determination on this use of force was completed months ago. It goes on to say, the Common Council appoints all members to the board, which has no legal authority to discipline officers or make policy changes, regardless of its findings.
All right, Emma, getting some answers there. Emma, we appreciate those answers. Thank you. Meanwhile, we want to reiterate the police department's position, its stand on this. As we reported back in August, the position of South Bend's police chief is that the officer involved in this did nothing wrong. Here's what he told the news media the day the department made that decision to release the body cam video and 911 call just days after this all happened.
Rather than maybe put a record on a juvenile, the officer opted to take the juvenile to their legal guardian and work out whatever it is that way. There's nothing wrong with that. That was the officer's discretion to do that. The officer could have put that juvenile in handcuffs, detained them, taken that juvenile to JJC and let that process work itself out, and then wash his hands of it and do a report and drive away. But that's not what he did. When you try to take off, when you try to resist, when you try to have court in the middle of the street, it's not ever going to end in your favor.
Again, that was back in August, less than a week after this all happened when they released that video to all of our teams here in the media. Now, with that, we've sent in a late request to police on whether the officer could be made available to answer our questions surrounding this incident. Police are actively working on our request, so we'll keep you posted.